The design and construction report timeline is seen on the left-hand side of this slide. We previously had shown design construction report number 1 on May 8th. Typically on highway and bridge projects, there is a single design and construction report. However, due to the complexity, size, and schedule in this project, we have chosen to divide the DCR into smaller reports to present the information as the design progresses. This will allow construction to commence while the remainder of the design is completed. Regardless of when and in which report the information is presented, the team will fulfill the obligations and requirements of the approved EA. Today, design presentations 2, 3, and 4 are being done, and the remaining 4 presentations will be done in the near future. What is a design and construction report? The DCR is part of the environmental assessment process, and it documents various aspects of the project showing how the design has worked within the framework of the approved EA and how commitments were made to you are being implemented in construction. As the design progresses and is fixed, we present it to the public in an open house. Comments received from the public are then documented and presented in the DCR. The design and construction reports will be made available for review at various locations around Windsor during the 30-day period. In DCRs 2, 3, and 4, there are various aspects of the project that we are presenting. They start at the east end near the existing 401 and continue out through to the west end near Ojibwe Parkway. The items included in this DCRs include bridges 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, tunnels 2, 3, 5, 7, 10B, and 11, Highway 401, Highway 3, all the ramps and connecting roads, including roadway illumination and advanced traffic management systems, utility relocations throughout the project, including new water mains, sanitary, and storm sewers. There are boards that discuss the power distribution throughout the project to the tunnels and pumping stations. Stormwater management, including ponds, pumping stations, culverts, submerged culverts, and the associated wetland improvement and drain realignments. Starting with the bridges and tunnels. Today we're presenting Bridges 7, which is located between LaBelle Street and Grand Maris Road. This structure will carry the eastbound lanes of future Highway 3 over below grade 401. Bridge 8, located just east of Pulford Street. The structure will carry Highway 3 over westbound ramp to 401. Bridge 9, located near Cabana Road West. The structure will carry the eastbound ramp from the future Highway 3 to below grade 401. Bridge 10, located just west of St. Clair. This bridge will take Highway 3 over 401. Bridge 11, located just west of Howard Avenue, and this structure will carry both eastbound and westbound lanes of Highway 3 over the below grade 401. And a sample is shown right here. This is Bridge B9, which is located near Cabana Road West. This is a post-tension concrete structure. Some of the details of being used in this structure are new to Ontario, and they will help continue to push Ontario forward in the area of bridge. It is very similar in appearance to the bridges that were recently constructed near the location of Howard Avenue. On the tunnels vary in length, with the maximum being 240 meters long. Inside, the tunnel lights will be set up to mimic the light on the approaches. During the day, the lights in the tunnel will be at their brightest to help reduce the driver's need to adjust to the change in light conditions from going in and out of the tunnels. The tunnels either carry crossroads trail system or provide an eco connection over Highway 401. Tunnel T2 is located at LaBelle Bethlehem intersection. Tunnel T3 is located at the Grand Maris Lambton Road intersection. Tunnel 5 carries the trail system over both Highway 3 and 401 and is just west of Cabana Todd Lane. And this is also an important link to the ecosystem. Tunnel 7 is located at the intersection of Highway 3 and Huron Church line. Tunnel 10B is just east of Cousineau Sandwich Parkway and it carries the trail system over Highway 3. And finally, Tunnel 11, which is just west of Howard Avenue, and it provides a connection for the trail system at Howard. Just an example of what the tunnels look like. The construction of the tunnel is very similar to the bridges, except it has earth over top to allow for landscaping. Highway 401, Highway 3 alignment, and municipal roads. We have presented the alignment at all the other PIOH meetings to date, and it falls within the alignment shown in the approved environmental assessment. There have been some minor adjustments to the alignment for roadside safety and to suit the types of bridges and tunnels, locations of sign. A few of the ramps have been widened to accommodate the staging throughout the project. And where possible, our team has used slopes instead of concrete walls to give more of an open feel of the road, which is in line with our team's theme, a parkway within a prairie. On stormwater management, stormwater management is how the runoff from the new infrastructure will be handled. For this project, all water collected from Highway 3 and 401 will be treated in accordance with Ministry of the Environment and MTO. For our project, there are two distinct areas. Below grade section, which extends from Highway 401 in the east to EC Row Expressway, and then the remainder which travels along the side of EC Row, ending at Ojibwe Parkway. For the below grade section, rainwater will be taken into a series of pumping stations which will pump the water to the adjacent ponds. For the remaining section, the rainwater will end up in the two ponds along that corridor. The purpose of the ponds is to treat the water and control its release back into the natural environment. These controls do not exist out there now and will be a significant improvement as a result of this project. Today we want to highlight two small changes that we have done from previous work. These are a result of changes in design standard. Ponds 4 and Pond 6 have increased in size by approximately 30%. The slide is an example of Pond 4. The pond has changed in size, realigned the existing overhead hydro lines around that pond, and to the bottom of the orange line, which is the hydro lines, is the future wetland restoration area. At Pond 6, this is in the west gateway between Malden and Ojibwe Parkway, and it has increased in size without impacting their surrounding area as well. The municipal drains are a drainage system that is created under the Drainage Act. It can be an open ditch or closed system such as a pipe or tile. In general, the purpose of a drainage system is to help minimize flooding and risk to human health by conveying excess water from public and private lands to downstream receiving watercourse. Along the Wolf Drain, as shown here on this slide, the work includes enhanced areas for fish habitat and will include appropriate landscaping and plantings along the floodplain. One of the most common questions we get is what happens beyond the 100-year storm. We have looked at the extreme events, including such as Hurricane Hazel, and it's worth noting that the flood levels for these events are contained within the channels. Another aspect of the drainage portion of the work are the submerged culverts that carry the Cahill and Lennon drains under Highway 401. Based on comments that we've received from you at our previous meetings, the Lennon culvert has been moved from the east side of Tunnel T7 to the west side of Tunnel T7. And this is an example of what the submerged drains look like. For utility relocations, there are quite a few within the project limits. In order for this project to advance, they all need to be relocated before work begins. These include water, wastewater, and as mentioned, the storm system. Work by various utility companies have started or will commence shortly and take place through the next few years. Work by our team will continue, will begin late this summer and will continue throughout the project as a whole. There are two particular utilities worth noting is the sanitary sewer from Lambton Road to the existing City of Windsor sanitary trunk main along EC Row, and the need to accommodate the crossings in the below grade section of the freeway.
And I wanted to speak just briefly a little bit about what happens once the design work is done. It's taken by the construction group, it's looked at from a construction staging perspective. A schedule is prepared and then work begins accordingly. Some of the activities that will start in this year are the advanced fill and wick drain installation. That was a topic of some detail at the last open house. Also the construction of the Grand Maris drain crossing over Turkey Creek. The Howard Avenue diversion, including the new roundabout. There's excavation of the roadway will commence. The Highway 401 widening at the east end of the project will be undertaken. Construction of 4 bridges, including the North Talbot Road Bridge, construction of 4 tunnels, and required drainage works will get underway all in 2011. The Howard Avenue diversion, including the new roundabout, this is one that's been of particular interest to those residing within that general community. There will be a new permanent 4-lane road that will connect Howard Avenue, Highway 401, and Highway 3. The important thing to remember about that work, you'll see people working actually out in a field, and that's being done to ensure that the diversion is constructed in advance of any of the roadways being closed, so that there will be a continuous flow of traffic. So the diversion will be complete and connected to the existing road system well in advance of the existing road system being taken out of service. The excavation of roadway, that will begin as well this year. There'll be movement of material throughout the project timeframe, but you'll begin to see those trucks moving earth to the west end of the project area to assist with the WIC drainage work that's going to occur in September of this year. Highway 401 in the North Talbot Road Bridge. We're preparing to demolish the bridge, the North Talbot Road Bridge, where it crosses over Highway 401. Highway 401 is going to be widened from 4 lanes in that area to 6 lanes, and in order to accommodate that, the current North Talbot Road Bridge needs to be removed and widened so that 401 can travel underneath of it. That is probably the first road construction work that you'll see occurring. It's expected to begin in August. In addition, there'll be other bridges and some tunnels constructed. Although the entire parkway is comprised of 11 tunneled sections, they include a variety of vehicle and pedestrian bridges as well. There'll be site preparation, excavation and driving of piles, construction of abutments, pile caps, piers, walls and side slopes, installation of girders and casting of bridge deck, as well as placement of tunnel top. And you had heard Philip mention that that'll be covered with earth, and they'll become landscaped areas and form part of the trail and park system that will accompany this road project. Pile driving is one of the things that we've certainly identified as something that we need to pay particular attention to. They are deep foundations embedded into the ground to provide foundation support for structures. You see on the right-hand side of the slide an example of a pile driving machine, and then you can see some of the piles that have been driven into the ground. Weight is released down on the pile and drives it into the ground, and of course there is a noise, a rather rhythmic noise that is a result of that procedure. We know that pile driving will have some impact in the areas where it is occurring, and so we've tried to be very diligent about how we schedule that work. This particular table shows, for example, Bridge 15 being the North Talbot Road Bridge will commence in the fall, or the demolition will occur in August of this year. The pile driving will most likely start in September. It will be for a duration of 3 weeks over a 6-month period. And so what we're trying to do is ensure that we don't go for 3 weeks steady driving piles in any one location. We'll try and spread the pile driving around a little bit to give each neighborhood a break in terms of the noise and vibration that results from that procedure. And then all of the other bridges and the tunnels and the pile driving that will be associated with it. And again, we've estimated the length of time that pile driving will occur. So for example, Tunnel 2, we're at the end there, at the end of the table, anticipated for April of next year. The entire duration estimated to be 1 month. We'll try to ensure that that's not a solid month, but that it's the pile driving moves around a little bit. There unfortunately are necessary inconveniences associated with any construction, and particularly a project of this magnitude. Things that we're prepared to do to ensure that we minimize that impact on the community is to keep to the schedule so that the area neighbors know what to expect. Limit the most noisy construction activities to daytime hours. Make sure that we operate within municipal noise bylaws. And in those instances where we need exemptions from the noise bylaw, that we obtain those and let the neighborhoods know what they can expect as a result of those exemptions. To the greatest extent possible, we'll let you know in advance when we'll be near your neighborhood, and you can always contact the group through the Public Liaison Office. There'll be other perhaps less noticeable parts of the construction works. There'll be some permanent road closures and removal of certain roads. There'll be ongoing demolition and ongoing property maintenance. And in addition, we'll be creating 7 interim stormwater management facilities to ensure that drainage occurs in an acceptable fashion while the construction works are being undertaken.